Hi everybody, welcome back to Story Time. We have a special book. We actually have several books by this author. She sent a joke book, and she sent this book, and she sent another book that I will be sharing tomorrow night. So tonight we are going to read Henrietta Hedgehogs' Prickly Problem by Carol Roman. And Miss Roman has written over 50 children's books. So I know you can find them on Amazon. And I know that this book will be a delight to everyone. So gather your children and gather your bears and your blankets too. And let's all settle down because I have a story to read to you. Henrietta Hedgehog's Prickly Problem. And it's written again by Carol Roman. And I want to thank Miss Roman for sending me your books. Henrietta Hedgehog rolled into a tight ball under her quilt. She didn't want to go to school today. Mama Hedgehog stood in the doorway. Henrietta, stop trying to hide. You'll be late. Miss Drew will be mad if I'm late, she said with a sniff. I don't want to go to school. A big fat tear slid down her cheek. What happened? I thought you loved school, Mama said. I do love school, Mama. It's just, I hate being a hedgehog. You hate being a hedgehog? That's, Mama said on the edge of the bed. Why? The other kids make fun of me. They say my spines are scary. Mama Hedgehog wiped Henrietta's tears away. They're not scary. You have beautiful quills. Henrietta looked at herself in the mirror. I don't know about that, Mama. The kids won't sit close to me because they say they're very sharp. I wish I had a bushy tail like a squirrel or soft fur like a ferret. Anything but these pesky things, she sighed. Mama frowned. Henrietta waited for Mama to leave and then took a paper bag from under her pillow. She shoved it into her backpack. After breakfast, Henrietta hurried to the hollowed-out log near the school. She looked around to make sure she was all alone. Henrietta took out the bag from her backpack. Inside was a mask she had made with construction paper and a rubber band. She slipped it over her head and covered her mouth with it. She looked at her reflection in a puddle and smiled. She looked just like Bella Beaver. Henrietta decided she looked very pretty indeed. She ran into school just before the door closed and slid into her seat at her desk. Bella Beaver did a double take. Her brows lowered in hurt and anger. They had identical looking mouths. Bella asked, Are you making fun of me? Henrietta shook her head in disbelief. Of course not. I wanted... Ha ha. Ryan Rabbit pointed to Henrietta. Look at those goofy teeth. Henrietta heard laughing in the back of the... Henrietta heard laughter in the back of the room. Miss Shrew glared at Henrietta and ordered, Take those off. Henrietta removed them and stuffed them into her backpack. Bella was still looking hurt. During recess, all the students followed her out. Woodpeckers and moles, mice and fox, all surrounded Henrietta in the schoolyard. Why you'd put on fake choppers, Wendy Woodpecker demanded. So you'll have fangs to match the pointed quills? Maxwell Mole asked. Shelby Snake shivered right up, snickering. You look twice as silly, she hissed. That wasn't very nice to make fun of my teeth, Bella said. I wasn't making fun of you. I wanted to look like you, Henrietta lowered her eyes. Maybe the kids would like me more if I looked like a beaver. Bella shook her head. They tease me about my teeth all the time. She paused and reached out to touch Henrietta's coat, but stopped. I wish I had your sharp quills to protect me, Bella said wishfully. Oh, those old things, Henrietta straightened her quills out. I wish I had fur like me. Franny Ferret shook herself from under some leaves where she was hiding. I may have a pretty coat, but ferret means little thief. Just think what the other kids have to say about that. Henrietta pursed her tiny mouth. She still wasn't convinced. You have no idea how hard it is to be a hedgehog. They heard scrambling of little feet behind them. Sometimes they pick on me. They call me Squeaky. Spencer Squirrel's voice piped up as he jumped off the side of a tree. They complain that even my nails make too much noise. Look at my legs, Wally Weasel waddled to where they were sitting. My legs are short, and I can't do anything about it, he wailed. I think you're cute. Bella batted her eyelashes at him. Wally ignored her and kept talking, his eyes large and sorrowful. They call me names all the time. No matter how big my body gets, I can't make my legs any longer. I wish I could snap my fingers and change my appearance, Henrietta said. When I complain, my mom says there is nothing wrong with the way I look. Dylan Deer approached them, her graceful legs delicately picking her way through the grass. She shook her head. She told me that our differences make us interesting as well as beautiful. That's easy for you to say. Look at you, Henrietta said. Dylan sighed. Well, I hated my freckles. The other kids call me Dottie. I learned every deer has different marks on their bodies that show our individuality. Really, Henrietta? What would you be without your quills? I could change my teeth, but then I wouldn't be a busy beaver. Would I? Bella said. Soon Henrietta was surrounded by a cluster of critters. She looked at each one. Ferret had small legs so they could burrow underground. Beavers need large teeth to chew wood, and hedgehogs had quills. She glanced at her quills and considered them. Your quills are a part of you. They are important for your protection. If people don't accept you because of how you look, Dylan told her, or sound, said Spencer, or walk, said Wally. Who needs them? Henrietta burst out. Everyone laughed. Henrietta looked around the clearing with a start. She counted several new faces. They didn't even seem to care about her quills. At the end of the school day, Bella reached out to take Henrietta's hand. Come on, let's walk home together. Henrietta walked carefully, making sure not to poke Bella with her quill. Bella smiled back, showing all her teeth. Just be yourself, Henrietta. You are perfect just the way you are. I love the meaning of this book, and I really, really like the last word, the last sentence of the book. You are perfect just the way you are. I really hope you've enjoyed Henrietta Hedgehog's Prickly Problem by Miss Carol Roman. I know you will want to have this book in your library at home and at school. So come back real soon when I will post another story by Miss Carol Roman. Good night, everyone. I'll see you really soon.